everyone to the female bodybuilding channel. JB, are you excited about it's summer, JB? It's summer.
Summer will be great, yes.
How's the weather in Germany?
Summer is hot and mixed, but no rain, and it's good. And yeah.
Have you started your testosterone treatment so you can get more ladies when you travel to shows?
Have it up, right?
We keep this a secret.
Yes.
Anyway, Toronto Pro. We're in Toronto. The list is a Canadian list. A lot of Canadian athletes. We are looking at the women's physique list.
Yep.
JB, give me 3 names that stands out to you that you're excited to see.
My standout is Eleonora Dobrina from Canada. She's been a famous coach all the time. She started last time 3 years ago. Won the show. Don't remember exactly what it was, what she won. And since then she became really famous, also with photo shoots and so on, even with Kai York, a very famous fashion photographer. And then sends out Sanna from Finland.
Let the record show at home, he didn't talk nothing about she used to do the Olympia, which purely for the photography he was interested in. Okay, let's go. Next one was
don't follow me. And Sanna, right? Yeah. And we have and standout is Jasmine Lira Flores from Mexico. She stands out really much with her I would say muscular physique for women's physique. Yes, that's my standouts.
Who was the second girl? I didn't catch. Who was the second?
Sanna Nuponen from Finland.
So this list, it's not an Olympia list, as you guys can see. There's no one here that's been at this recent Olympia, and there's no Pro League winners from last year here. Sadly, none of the top girls. I don't know why, because a lot of top girls are not qualified to compete. This would be an excellent show to get their Olympia qualification, but no one showed up. This means my top 3 to look out for is obviously Jasmine Lira Flores from Mexico, with shoulders like Max Charles, correct? And a smile like Andrea Shaw. Almost. You get the idea. This is Jasmine. I hope JB can edit just one picture in for this female physique, and that's that picture we have on our female bodybuilding. You know, the one with the delts, JB. You know, the one with the headset and the cap.
Yep.
This is incredible muscle, but we will see, because you know they don't reward this look in women's physique usually.
Yeah.
So we will see how, as we've seen a huge, what can we say? A huge increase in muscle in women's physique in the Latin American landscape, haven't we, JB?
Yeah, that's true. That's but because it's lacking of the female bodybuilding class there.
Correct.
And but it's coming back. Muscle contest, bring it back on the next show.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do a news show next week, maybe.
Yeah,
and we can talk about those things. But Jasmine Lira Flores, obviously, because we're excited to see how she looks on stage, because we're impressed by her delts.
Yeah.
My other one is the girl you mentioned, Eleonora.
Yeah.
Because she's an Olympia athlete before, and she knows how to get that conditioning. So she's going to be in the mix. And then we have Ji-hee Lee. The girl from Korea is in I have her for the win with Eleonora. Based off her performance at the New York Pro versus Natalia Coelho, where she from the back she was second, and from the back she she could hang from the back, correct?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It was just the shape.
The genetic shape is not like Natalia, no.
Yeah.
But this is not a top lineup, so maybe she can get it would be fun to have a Korean at the Women's Physique Olympia, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be very nice.
Yeah. Okay, and the moment we've been waiting for, JP. We love women's bodybuilding. We have promoted it a lot with our heart. And JB, we had one girl at Canada. One girl showed up. Then we had 5 girls who showed up for the new show at Indy. First time at women's bodybuilding. Only 5 girls showed up.
Yeah.
Then we have the New York Pro, who's supposed to be one of the most prestigious shows in the world. We didn't even have enough competitors for a second call out properly. And it was the biggest show with 9 competitors. And now we are down to 4 athletes, JB. Can you explain to me what is going on in the landscape of women's bodybuilding? Why we complained, the athletes complained. Now they have the shows, but they're not doing the shows. JB, what's going on?
My perception is, everything is going to be so expensive. You know what I mean? So it's also, we spoke to another athlete. She also said yes, and then she calculated everything before that and said it's raising up, it's raising up, and raising up. We now have the chance, really, that really many shows this year in comparison to last year and the years before.
Yeah,
the dark age, so to say.
The dark times of women's bodybuilding it was like 5 shows a year, correct?
Yeah, so on.
If even that.
Yeah, and now, and I think it's the aftermath of the corona also, control pandemic. So I think hopefully in the summer we get a clash.
So for people at home, as we've talked to a couple of athletes, the food, the gear, the massage, the tanning, the traveling with no prize money at these shows, they say it's not worth it. So that's the feedback we've gotten from some athletes. Obviously, this is not, we cannot let them speak for everyone. Yeah. I'm just saying that the athletes we've spoken to, when they calculate the money, guys, it's $2,500 for a pro win, huh?
Yeah. If it's good. Yeah.
And that's just for the winner, and that doesn't even cover anything of what I just mentioned.
Yeah.
The Wings of Strength are obviously sponsoring some athletes, but that means they have to do the shows that the Wings of Strength has set them up to do.
Yeah.
So in their contract, it says, for example, you have to do Romania Pro and Spain. Well, usually it's only Wings of Strength shows, correct? They do.
Yeah.
So we don't know. It's we complained. We have the shows now, but the athletes are not doing it.
Yes. So, but I think I'm very positive that at least next year it's going to be better. I think if the first exception is better than this year, maybe it's just everybody has 2 years after herself with staying at home, saving money or losing money, I think, and maybe it's just
Anyway, let's go over to who shows up. We are looking at the list, JB, and the first athlete is 63-year-old Michelle Brent, who we saw at the New York Pro.
Yeah.
And let's not talk about this age thing because we're tired of listening about the age. She has some nice conditioning from the front.
Definitely, yeah.
I loved her routine at New York Pro.
Yeah.
Very nice choreographed.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to see her on stage, JB.
Yeah, definitely. And I was very happy to see her come back.
Yeah. Michelle Jin, we will talk about who our favorite. I think it's these two, and we have a wild card, but Michelle Jin.
Yeah.
We talked about her. You see her now, and we talked about her before. Legs, great. The back is great.
Yeah.
3rd place at the New York Pro.
Yeah.
3rd place at the Toronto Pro in December.
Mm-hmm.
She is leading the point system right now, I'm imagining, to the Olympia.
I think so, but yeah.
Yes, she is. So Lisa Kudry has better condition than Michelle Jin. This is guaranteed.
Yeah.
But Michelle Jin has a little bit more fuller.
She has the more the
aesthetic physique.
Yeah, and
appealing physique.
Yeah, and the appealing appearance. She was
correct.
She was more smiling and she was more entertaining and so on.
So JB, if Lisa has stayed on her diet, that she obviously has done, because this is her chance to go to the Olympia, you know? And even if Lisa gets second, she will be first in the point system then, I think, or something like this. So if Michelle gets second, she's gonna have a lot of points for the Olympia. Same with Lisa.
Yeah.
But that's, you don't know who's competing later this year, so win is obviously.
Yeah.
If Lisa can improve her posing, because that was not good at New York, I mean at Indy. She did not smile. She did not present her physique in the best way, and she hit some poses not the right way.
Yeah.
JB, if Lisa can improve her presentation, who do you have winning then, Michelle or Lisa?
I think Lisa, because the balance and the symmetry is better.
Even though you said Michelle has a nicer overall look.
Yes, because I think the symmetry is the lower upper body is better than to Michelle.
But Lisa doesn't have the arms and delts though.
Yeah, but you can say some judges say this one, say some judges say this one. So you can never know. Maybe it's a tie, and somebody has to decide. I don't know.
And since we are women's bodybuilding channel, we have a lot of guys who like the dark side of the sport, and the people that are a little bit in the shadows but has impressed on Instagram. And the wild card, JB, announced the name for fans of women's bodybuilding. Who is it?
It's Giselle Nunes-Chan. I hope I pronounced it very well. She's coming from China. She wanted to start in the New York Pro, but she dropped out. She said she was not really ready because of the flight and 30 hours of traveling or something. Now we are really excited to see what she's bringing on stage, I think.
And she's a former women's physique. She's turned to women's bodybuilding. And we've seen on her Instagram, there is a mystique. Because we haven't seen any real pictures or any real updates. It's only been some flashes. But from the flashes, we've seen some women's bodybuilding size, haven't we?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If the pictures are real.
But we have not seen the conditioning, JB.
That's true, yeah. That's true.
So we hope. I'm worried. I'm personally worried, JB. I've seen the pictures, and this does not look like contest shape to me at all.
Not really, but maybe she's
surprising us. Maybe it's old pictures.
She did some filters on it, maybe.
Could you follow her a little bit more than me? If she is in condition, where do you see her place?
That's really difficult because I see the last contest pictures are from 2019 or something in the women's physique class, and it's went so much time to this. She really built up, I think, with the pictures for real. But I think, in the symmetry thing, I think she has a lot of minus points because her lower body is not that wide. You know what I mean, from the legs and so on. But maybe she surprised us. Also filter. I don't know.
Let's see. Toronto Pro. We're gonna have a new women's bodybuilder qualifying to Ms Olympia, and this Ms Olympia already's got some good names in it.
Yeah.
So we're excited to see who it will be.
That's true.
Welcome everyone to the Female Bodybuilding channel. Today we're joined by Ian Constable, the boss and owner of Two Bros. How are you?
Good, thank you, AJ. Thank you for having me on.
We had some incredible news for fans of women's physique. We have had a lot of complaints that the Arnold Classic had no room for the women's physique and women's bodybuilding. I think they took away women's physique in 2019 or 20 was the last one. Can you remember that, JB?
I think,
Ian, can you remember when they...
I think it was 2018. That was when I last remember seeing it.
I think it was 18 or 19.
Yeah.
2 days ago, we got the message. women's physique is back at the Arnold Classic, but the Arnold Classic UK this September. And Ian, talk to us a little bit about that.
I felt it was my duty to bring back women's physique to the Arnold Classic because we'd brought in 212, we'd brought in figure, and it just kept playing on my mind. It kept playing on my mind that if we're going to bring this back and we're going to get the support from the athletes to do this, we need to do it here. And then hopefully with the support of the athletes and the amount of athletes that actually enter, then that's going to send a message out to Brazil. It's going to send a message out to USA, and people are going to see that there's the support for it.
And that's exactly what we want to hear, because when the Arnold Classic UK is bringing not only the 212, but the women's physique now, it sends a signal to Ohio that these classes people want to see.
Yeah, again, it's the best way to slowly get that particular division back into the highlight again. You know, if we can actually show that there's a great turnout for it and there's a lot of interest for it, then again, it starts to send a message. As you know, you're not always going to get straight into the Arnolds in the USA. You know, that's a prestigious event. It's right at the top of the train. So someone's got to do it. So again, let's test the waters. It's there. It's available. I worked very hard. We looked at everything as to can we make it work. We worked with the Arnold UK, obviously Jim Mannion and Tyler. You know, we looked at it. We threw the numbers around. We checked out who was available, who might turn up. And it come to the conclusion that, you know, let's do it for the athletes.
So far, the feedback, JB and myself, we've sent so many DMs to different women's physique athletes because it's very important that we don't have a B-list women's physique athletes for the first time. We want to have the best of the best. And we reached out to many of the good athletes. And how's the feedback been? Have you gotten a lot of requests already in just 2 days?
We've got a lot of requests, okay?
Wow.
More than what I imagined, because I was thinking maybe 4 or 5, which was what the consensus of it, as everybody is. Normally, even in the pro qualifiers, you get 4, maybe 5. But no, we're nearly into double figures. So,
wow,
again,
already.
It doesn't mean that they're going to get selected, but we're into double figures. But again, we're given the opportunity. The possibilities are out there. So it just takes that if people really want to see this division grow like it has been, but quicker, that's the main thing, is quicker, then you've got to come out and support it. The big athletes have got to show their support, and they've got to turn up to show the other athletes that maybe haven't been in women's physique, because you've got to remember we've created a lot of new women's physique athletes over the last 4 years. Those big athletes have got to show the athletes, the new ones, that this is serious. You know, we're prepared to do this, and we're prepared to do it for the division.
Talk to us a little bit about the event. Is there a pro qualifier for also women's physique, women's bodybuilding that weekend, or?
Yep, there's obviously the pro qualifier on I think the women's divisions are on Saturday. We'll wait until we post the actual schedule out, but the women's pro qualifier is on Saturday. So obviously it's another opportunity for the amateur athletes to get together to be able to win that pro card. And then they get automatic qualification to the Arnold Classic on the Sunday to compete as a pro. It doesn't get any better than that.
Absolutely. I had the privilege of commentating last year at the event, so I was front row. And for example, if you remember the fitness girl who turned pro, the Mensa,
Michelle Frieda Mensa.
Guys, she won her pro card in fitness, went on to the pro show with 5,000 people in the audience. It's a stacked show, and she won her pro debut, and she's going to this year's Olympia. So
yeah, well, that's the other thing you've got to remember. It's one of those sort of, it's like when Haley's Comet comes over. You can start as an amateur, you can then become a pro, you can compete in the pro show, and then win qualification to the Olympia. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that.
So where can people register, Ian?
So basically, because we like to keep all the information in one place and save it going anywhere else, so we're a central hub for all the athlete registrations. So this is all the other divisions are closed now. So this only applies to women's physique, and you've only got till the 7th of June. So this is, in order to apply, you write an email to info@2bpevents.com and you state your name and your division and that you would like to apply for the Arnold Classic UK 2022. That is it. After the 7th of June, the Arnold's UK IFBB Pro League Two Bros panel will look at all the applications and decide which ones that have made it, are lucky enough to make it through, and they'll be then contacted in order to let them know that they have been accepted. So really easy. Name, division, and that you'd like to be part of the Arnold's UK 2022.
Not a little bio what you've done, or that doesn't matter?
We can see everything.
How do you, we can see everything. Just a quick question. How do you, who gets in? Is it based on what they've done before, potential, following, or how do you?
It's lots of different reasons. It's all of the above. So there's no set criteria, but it is based. I mean, the only thing it's not based on is your following. It doesn't matter whether you've got no following. This is just simply about, this is the highest level of competing that there is. So again, it's based on, you know, you could be a consummate professional, you could be someone that has only just qualified, but you've got huge potential. There's just so many different reasons. And at the end of the day, one of the factors that comes into account all the time is time, because we can't just let 100 women's physique in, because they all have to do their routines, and that takes up time. So we could be there till next Wednesday if we done that, but we only have the one day on the Sunday to do the pre-judging and then the finals. So it is based as well as how many we can fit in. So not, you know, there might be people that deserve a place, but unfortunately we just can't fit them in because of the timings. I mean, you were there last year. You saw that actually ran over because of the situation with Samson and Nathan. It ran over nearly an hour and a half.
Yeah. Where can people get the tickets?
Tickets, VIP tickets are on sale at www.twobrostickets.com. And we're waiting for general release of any other tickets in correlation with the floor plans and everything else set out with the Arnold Sports Festival UK.
Before we go,
pre-judging, let me just finish. Pre-judging is free to everybody. So if you've bought an expo ticket for the Sunday, you will be able to see pre-judging as part of that expo ticket.
Whoa,
that's good.
Great.
Last question. What's the likelihood we will get women's bodybuilding in 2023?
That's the problem with you, AJ. Just take a step at a time. Come on. Just one step at a time.
Oh, we want to see women's bodybuilding in 2023, and we want to see it.
Do you know what the truth is, AJ? We need to see more women's bodybuilding competing in order to win pro cards, to get more women's bodybuilding in that pro division. Because at the moment, you put out a show for women's bodybuilding. How many can you get?
I know, it's a problem.
So it takes time. It's like the wellness division. That's why we haven't put wellness on. There's not enough wellness athletes, we feel, that can be competitive on a stage this year in the UK. The same with classic physique. That's taken, you know, nearly 4 or 5 years to get to a stage where we've got that many people competing, so it's competitive. It just takes time, you know. And if you remember, women's bodybuilding only got back in the Olympia last year, was it?
2020, yeah.
2020, you know, and then there's the pandemic. So you've got to take these things into account. There is a foundation for all of this that has to be built up in order to be able to warrant it. You know, that's all it comes down to. You want it to be competitive. We put it on and one person turns up on stage. It's not good.
No. That's why we women's physique athletes got to show up for this one, and it looks like they are, aren't they?
Well, we'll see on the 8th of June.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Ian, for your time, and we're excited not only for the women's physique class, but for the entire event of the Arnold Classic UK, and it's going to be a good one.
as you know, if I've got anything to do with it, it's going to be a blockbuster.
And there you go. Goodbye.
Thank you very
Hasta la
much.
vista.
Bye-bye. JB, remember to...
Subscribe.
And we are...
Out.
Yeah.